it wasn't just the women, though, to be honest. It was the men's skin, too. I was like,
okay. But right?
How?
Like, right?
Yeah.
It was just like, what the heck?
So I was like, I got to get on to this, you know?
They really make American men look crusty. It's
right?
It's bad. Like, I didn't even, like, my brother got super into skincare, and I was like, I don't get this. And then I started watching K-dramas, and I'm like, oh, thank God he's like this. Hello and welcome to the Crazecast, a podcast run by the fans for the fans that brings you close to the action. My name is Roxy, and today I'm joined by my fellow host, Jay.
Hi! To keep up with all our content, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at CrazeMag, and YouTube The Craze.
If you enjoy our content, please consider helping to support our organization through Ko-Fi. Our team is 100% volunteer-based, so any donation helps a great deal. Head over to kofi.com/thecraze, where you can donate however much you please, and we thank you ahead of time so much for your support.
And if you are watching this on YouTube, before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit the little bell that's like in the little corner right here for instant notifications for whenever we upload, and just to catch our next episode, and hit that bell for notifications when we upload new videos. We are not alone today on this special episode of the podcast. These ladies are our first guests to our video format of the podcast. We'll let them introduce themselves further, but welcome to the Crazecast, Fama and Mona, the co-founders of K-BeautyFest.
Thank you for having us. Hi.
Hi, everybody. Thank you.
All right. So we do have the co-founders of K-BeautyFest. And if you would like to give our listeners and for those who are watching on the video format, could you just please introduce yourselves a little bit further? Tell us about who you are and what K-BeautyFest is and how did it start?
Hi, I'm Mona Hansen, and I'm the CMO of Soul Cosmetic Surgery and co-founder also of K-BeautyFest. And K-BeautyFest Live is the first virtual K-Beauty summit where lovers of K-Beauty can interact, meet like-minded people who are interested in learning more about K-Beauty, who can engage through quizzes and giveaways, and you can meet their favorite brands and influencers. We are planning to have our first ever event in the virtual event, actually, in the winter of 2022.
My name is Fama. I'm one of the co-founder of K-BeautyFest as well. I'm originally from Senegal. I was born in Paris. I lived in New York, and now I'm here in Korea. And what brought me to Korea was ultimately K-Beauty. So I met Mona here in Seoul. And we both have this passion for K-Beauty, obviously, all amongst other things related to Korea. And the goal is really to kind of raise awareness or spread the knowledge of K-Beauty, educate people, and have people get more familiar with the concept of K-Beauty, because not everybody understands the core of K-Beauty. And sometimes it's hard to tell people, oh, this product is really good because it's K-Beauty product. People are just like, okay, but what's so great about K-Beauty? So by having this event where we're going to have, general public, influencers, brands, like be together in the same place. And we want to really create this global community where everybody can interact together.
Roxy, if you want to go jump on to the next part?
Yeah, sure, I can. So what exactly was it that got you guys into K-Beauty? Because, for a lot of people, at least in my experience, just based on what I've come across, tend to sort of start with like K-pop. It's kind of almost like a gateway, if you will, into sort of having more interest into K-Beauty. So what was it that got you guys so interested in it?
For me, it was 100% K-drama, Korean dramas. I started with Korean dramas, so that's what got me. I was like, how do they have such an amazing skin? And all those, back in the day, I think for me, it was like 2009 or 8, something like that. And when I got into Korean dramas, I was so amazed at their skin. And, obviously when you watch the dramas, you see them like using all those sheet masks and stuff like that. So I discovered the whole K-beauty industry because I had some friends who took me to K-Town in New York. And that's how I discovered that they had a face shop. And I was just like, what is this? Because literally you have the Macy's and the Sephora 2 blocks away from there, but I've never seen any of that. So that's how I started.
So, as Fama said, K-drama was, I call it like my gateway drug, actually. So I was wondering like why the actor's skin was so amazing. It was like, I was like, what sorcery is this? I got into it because of K-drama, and I remember I came to Korea. Well, actually, the second time I came to Korea, I came for my, because I got into K-drama. I wanted to come to Seoul for just a vacation, and I went to an expo. So I went to K-Beauty Expo, and I got exposed to all the different kinds of K-Beauty brands. And then when I actually ended up moving here to Korea, I, in my role as, working for my company, I was working with dermatologists and things like that. And I saw, all the different things that they were doing for, to enhance the already good skin that, a lot of Korean women had. And so that actually exposed me to the whole K-beauty industry. So that's how I got pretty much introduced to K-beauty and K-beauty products. So I kind of it started out, like I said, with K-beauty, with K-dramas, and then I went through the back door. So I went through the professional route as well.
Okay, but curious to know what K-dramas were the ones that you're like, oh my God, I have to know what they're doing, because me and Roxy, we are also K-drama fans too. And for me,
Okay.
that was also another gateway for me to get into K-pop and Korean culture. So it's just what were the K-dramas that really were I need to know how they do their beauty regimen, how this magic happens.
Okay. My gateway to K-beauty was My Love from Another Star. That was the one. Because my first K-drama was Bread, Love, and Dreams, or Baker King. That was my absolute favorite K-drama. That just tore me apart, opened me up, everything to the world of K-drama. And then, but the one when it came to skincare was, My Love from Another Star. I was just Gianna Jun, I guess that's her name. I was like, oh my God, she's just a goddess. Her skin is amazing. And then all the other females, their skin was, on par as well. So, and then then I just started noticing that there was just this basically all the Korean women, and all the actresses, their skin was just just absolutely stellar. So I was like, okay, what is this? So yeah.
How about you, Fama?
To me, it's a mix of, first of all, my first drama were, of course, the typical introduction to K-drama, Boys Over Flower, and what was the other one? For me, Secret Garden was one of my favorites. And I love that actress, Ha Ji-won. So I started watching all of her dramas, and all the Saguk dramas, the periodic one, were the one that really got me into that whole skincare thing, because I was okay, even back then, their skin was so amazing. So that's how I started. And then for Impress Key, it was one of my favorite too. I don't know if you guys watch it. It's a long drama, 50 episodes, but I nailed everything quickly. So yeah.
know what I found interesting though, with it wasn't just the women though, to be honest, it was the men's skin too. I was like,
Okay,
okay.
but right? Like,
How?
Right?
It was just like,
Yeah.
what the heck?
So I was like, I gotta get on to this, you know?
They really make American men look crusty. It's
Right?
it's bad. Like I didn't even like. My brother got super into skincare, and I was like, I don't get this. And then I started watching K-dramas, and I'm like, oh, thank God he's like this.
Right? I know. So, I mean, I think, to be honest, I think Korean men generally make American men look really bad.
See, like I know I said like American guys are crusty, but I feel like they are crusty all the world round. We just like,
Yeah, it is. Although I do have to say, when you have a really good looking Korean guy, even though maybe they're not as good looking, they do take care of themselves better than American guys.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
So, I mean, yes, going back to it, like a lot of it's just not Korean women, it's Korean men as well, like that have this really, really good regimen. And when you see them, whether they're in music videos, ads, or K-dramas, you're like, how is this possible? And I feel like in more recent years, K-beauty has become more of a trend here in the Western world, right? And now there's the whole 10-step Korean skincare routine and implementing what works for you and everything. That just leads us into the next question of, when you were getting into K-beauty and all of this, what are your favorite products, or what were the products that really got you into it that now, like, this has become my staple, or like I recommend to somebody trying to use? Whether it's makeup or skincare, whichever the two.
Oh, I'll skip on the makeup for now. I'll stick to the skincare.
They don't make makeup for us.
Yeah. But for the skincare, for me, 100% double cleansing and toner were the big thing. Like, I was not aware of that concept. So, but I saw such a big difference implementing that, and then the toner. And then you start, because I think a lot of people see the 10 steps and they think, oh, there's so many things to do. Like, and then what's the point of doing so many steps? But there is, each step has a specific function. You know, so that was what really got me into the concept of implementing that routine myself.
I would say one of my favorite brands is Cosrx. Yeah, one of my favorite brands is Cosrx. And then I would also say that it's not. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that it's necessarily favorite brands that that I'm like drawn to. It's just some of the ingredients that I'm drawn to. So it's the use of the vitamin C. I'm a big proponent of like vitamin C for a lot of different things. But it's for like the brightening and the glowing of the skin, as well as just like, I'm a big believer, and this is what I always tell people with K-beauty. I don't think K-beauty is just about, a lot of people think it's just about just the routine, but I think it's about your relationship with your products and your relationship with your body, because a lot of K-beauty brands, they are the companies, they're actually using products that are good for your skin. So when I say it's about the relationship with your excuse me, with your products or with your body, it means that you care about what you put on your skin, right? So because the brands are using products that are good for you and for your skin, that means that you're using things that you're using things that are actually good for you, right? You care about what you're putting on your skin, And so that's what I'm saying. It's just more of about a lifestyle, I think. The K-Beauty is about a lifestyle, actually. It's not about a routine. And so I think that so many people are so are really, really so concerned about like, oh, this is the 10-step skincare routine. No, it's not about that. It's like about a lifestyle. It's about like you just really like you're really mindful of like, you know, mindful about like your skincare, you know, and the routine is more about like it's more about like just that you're really taking time and effort into you know, all of these you know, this routine and like the cleansing and the exfoliating and all of that stuff. Yeah, that's what I say.
I really like that. I never really thought of it as like a lifestyle of just paying attention to your skin, because of course skincare is important. If you're not doing your skincare, hey, our listeners out there, if you're not taking care of your skin, I think, you know, as we get older, I think a lot of what people don't realize, skincare is important. Sunscreen, please. If anything, please.
Thank you.
Wear sunscreen. You know, growing up as a kid, you know, you're like, fine, skin's young. And then you get older and you're like, oh no, I should really be taking care of my skin now. And, you know, I love how Mona put that whole thing of it's something you're implementing you're taking care of your skin. It is a lifestyle. So whether it be 4 steps, 10 steps, as many, you know, it's taking care of your skin. By the way, I really recommend the Cosrx pimple patches. Those are lifesavers.
Those rock, right? Yeah.
They're so good. They're so good. But you know, you mentioned earlier, you know, they don't necessarily make makeup, especially for darker skin tones. And I feel like with both you and Fama, you know, you are people who are of a darker complexion just like me. And we want to include everybody. And so like you mentioned, like you are bridging, like creating a literal bridge for people of color, you know. And how do you feel like, you know, how are you making your mark on wanting to let it known, like, you know, yes, it's K-beauty, it's the style of Korean beauty skincare, but how do we also implement it so it includes everybody else as well? Like, how do you feel about, you know, that you're making a difference and you're building that bridge, and what other messages do you want to like come across, because you two are co-founders of K-BeautyFest and wanting to make it more global, make it more inclusive to everybody as well?
When I first got to Korea in 2015, 16, that's when I got to Korea and I saw the whole beauty industry. That's what I've made a goal of, is people need to know more about K-beauty. K-beauty is amazing, but I feel like people didn't know about it. And as a Black woman, I was just like, okay, I just came from New York. I knew it because I had Korean friends. And when I got here, I see even more. It's like whatever's at that time and still today, whatever's in the States compared to whatever's in Korea is just like a fraction of the beauty industry, right? So when I came back, I started creating a lot of content about K-beauty products, like, because I was thinking the reason why, and when I was talking with people, they were like, oh yeah, K-beauty is for Asian women, or K-beauty is for white people, you know? And I was just like, well, actually it doesn't have to do anything with your skin color. It's really about your relationship with your skin type and your skin concern. So I felt like people needed to see more people of color using the product to understand that, oh, okay, like this Black girl is using it, or this, you know, Hispanic girl is using it, or Indian girl is using it. So once you understand this concept that it's not about your skin color, it's about your skin type, then we're making progress, right? And then what we started to do is I was working closely with the Korean beauty brands. So we started doing more inclusivity and diversity campaign. So explaining the brands, okay, you guys want to export your products to the US or to Europe. Great, but you cannot use the same marketing you're doing. You need to target these people. You need to kind of represent them. And I think that we did I want to think that we did a great job, because I can see the difference between when I first came here and today. And we ran a campaign last year that was called K-BeautyFest for You, where we had 16 influencers globally. We had 8 to 9 Korean beauty brands, and then we had 15 models from all over the world. And we did the campaign here in Korea to kind of raise awareness on diversity and inclusivity, literally. So I think it was such a great experience for everybody, for the brands, for the models, for the influencers, for the public, because people could see that, oh, okay, everybody can literally use these K-beauty products.
So, sort of to pick up on what Fama said, I think there's something powerful, because just by looking at us, obviously Fama and I are 2 Black women, and we are promoting K-beauty. And I think it's the fact that we are actually promoting K-beauty is we obviously believe in K-beauty, and it means also that there is a market for K-beauty for people like us, right? And I remember when I first came here to Korea, and as I told you, I do medical tourism, and I told the clinics were so focused on marketing to Asians. So they were like, okay, well, medical tourism, we're going to bring in people from overseas who are Asian for various cosmetic procedures. And I was like, there is a viable market for people that like me, or there's a viable market for Caucasians and like non-Asian. And they're like, well, we're either interested in it. And I said, okay, if you're interested in, then you have to have representation of people that are non-Asian. Or they were like, okay, no, I don't think people who are non-Asian would be interested in Korean plastic surgery. Haha. Now they see that it's completely different. So I actually said to one of the clinics, I said, you need to actually get onto Real Self, for instance, and put your profile on Real Self and see how that's going to work out. And they were really lucky to listen to me, because now they have 70 reviews on Real Self. They have 70 reviews on Real Self, and they got at least, because they listened to me, they got at least 100 patients from that marketing campaign. And the ones that didn't listen to me realized that they should have, because there's a lot of people who are non-Asian that are interested in Korean procedures. So it's pretty much the same thing with K-beauty. K-beauty is not just for is not just for Asians, and a lot of people think that K-beauty is just for Asians. And I think that Korean brands have to, if they want to be global, they have to be representative. They have to be more diverse, and they have to be more inclusive. And what does that mean? It means that they have to have more visual representation. It means that their languaging, if they want to reach out to an American or a North American clientele, the English has to be. It has to be the packaging, for instance, should be in English. It can't be in all Korean. right? I mean, it's fine if it's Korean and English, but and it has to make sense. The marketing has to make sense. You cannot do Korean marketing into the United States because it doesn't make sense. You know, when we bring in people from North America and they come to, for instance, a Korean clinic, and they don't understand, and the English is really bad, there's no representation of people who look like them, they'll leave. They won't go with that clinic. And it's the same thing with K-beauty, buyers. They're not going to be open. They're not going to be as open. Now, there are a lot of people who they'll just buy a product because it's traditionally Korean. They think it's really cool. But I think that they're not going to feel connected. I do branding, and I always say that you have to have a relationship with your customer. You have to connect the brands that stay with a client. The brands that stay or forge longer relationships with their customers are the brands that connect with their customers. And so it's really, really important for beauty brands to connect with their customers. And this is the way to do it, to be diverse and inclusive.
And then I just want to add on to that. A lot of people think, okay, then I'm into diversity and inclusivity. Let me have one white girl, one black girl, one Asian girl. That's not what it is to be diverse and inclusive. It's all about, it's gender, it's skin color, ethnicity, religious background. There are so many different aspects of being diverse and inclusive. Exactly. It's not just putting different skin tone, one here, one drop here, one that. And you can tell. And then, for people, like Mona said, when you pick a brand that kind of speak to you, do your research, make sure that you connect to the brand, where when you go to their Instagram, it's just not pictures here and there just to show that they are inclusive, when actually the core of the brand is not even that message.
Exactly. And you can tell when a brand is faking it too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, say it louder for the people in the back. I feel like also K-beauty is very intimidating as well. Just, I think whether it comes to skincare or the beauty aspect of it, it's like, this is something I'm interested in it, but does it suit me? And even, if you look at me and Roxy, yes, we're very different people, right? But even then, we're still I don't know if this would work on me. I don't know if it would work on Roxy. It's so intimidating to just see all that. That looks very pretty. That looks really cool. But will it work for people like me, you, Fama, Mona? We just don't know. And yeah.
You're absolutely right. And rounding back to what we said, that's exactly why I said earlier that it's not about the routines. That's why everybody is intimidated. Number one, they're intimidated because people stress, it's about the routine. And then a lot of people think that it's just about, Asian skincare. If you stress that it's about a lifestyle, right? Everybody knows what a lifestyle is. Everybody has a lifestyle, right? You stress that it's about taking care of yourself. Everybody gets with that. Everybody understands that, right? And then if you have representation, if you're diverse and you're inclusive, everybody is part of a community. I mean, we're all, human beings, we're all part of a community, right? If you stress those two things, then it's not going to be overwhelming for people.
And then it's still the same. It's the same. The core is still the same. What is your skin type? What are your skin concerns? Once you establish, we all have skin types, right? You can be normal, oily, combination, whatever, right? We all have skin concern, and we all have issues that we want to fix. Once you figure that out, then you can start slowly get into that process and figure out what's going to work for you according to those two elements.
I know for me, because I did start getting interested in some K-beauty stuff, but the first thing that I did was sheet masks, and those don't even fit my face. They're too big. So I was I don't know if I'm doing this right. So, I mean, I just think it's a very interesting conversation to talk about inclusivity, because even just something as small as that feels like, it's not made for a certain type of face. Like if you don't fit, it doesn't fit you. So like I can see, how it can be kind of intimidating for people.
I think it's so interesting you say it's too big, because usually people complain that it's the opposite, that it's too small.
No, I'm in the same camp as Roxy, where like if they're gonna edit it in later on, like literally I have sheet masks that I bought, but like they're still too big for my face, and I'm just like, what?
I'm like, is my face too small? And like, I don't.
Do you know what? It has to do, with all due respect. Okay, I don't know if I should say this. I think it has to do with the quality of the sheet mask a lot of times.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I see it. So like, it's just like, will it work for me?
Yeah,
oh, no. Trial and error.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with that. I noticed, because some of the sheet masks that I try can be, some of them are really like too big, or they like are really like they don't fit well, and they're like saggy and everything. And then some you just put them on and they're like, oh, perfect, okay, boom. Mama, what do you think?
I'm gonna mess with this one. This one fits.
Yeah.
Yeah, accurate.
Yeah. So I think it's the ones that are usually $1, 10 for $10 for 10 are the ones that usually are too big. And they don't fit well.
Called me out. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's the one.
It's okay. But it's just like, I mean, sometimes I think even here in America, I feel like, obviously it's different because you're in Korea. Things are a little bit more affordable. Whereas here, with skincare coming here and being imported, of course, it's going to be a lot more expensive. So like, even just something as simple as a sheet mask, sure, like some people, they can't, like, they're not going to spend $5 on this. They're going to try and go for what works for their budget. And I feel like that's also the sad thing, because it's like, I want to get into these types of products or skincare, but it's so expensive because it's imported. I'm like, I wish I could travel to do that.
You're so right. Hey, I'll bring over, when I come to the States, I'll bring you some goodies. I'll ship it from where I am.
Just made Jay's day. But I mean, like, speaking on that topic, how it can be kind of intimidating for people. Do you have like any encouraging words for anyone that's interested but like unsure of where to start when it comes to K-beauty?
Well, first of all, don't be intimidated. It's not, it's actually the whole process is supposed to be enjoyable. You're supposed to enjoy taking care of yourself, taking care of your skin, making sure your skin is going to look like your favorite idol or actress, whatever that is. And take it slow, like really, for me, like, again, I keep repeating myself, but go back to, what do you want to achieve with your skin? Like, do you want to achieve the glow? Do you want to, because what's also very specific about K-beauty, it's all about prevention. It's not about, let me fix something after it happened. Usually, like, the whole concept of K-beauty, like the routine, like that you're implementing, is to prevent. Obviously, we don't have that culture yet, since we're just getting into this concept of K-beauty, but really take your time. I think nowadays there are so many information with influencers and the social media. You can find so many things. Also, you guys should join our K-beauty school that we have. We opened it like a couple of weeks ago, and we give a lot of information on K-beauty, like skincare, like the lifestyle that we are trying to promote. So you guys should come in and follow us in the K-beauty school, and then you can ask all your questions, because I think also what's missing is that conversation about K-beauty, where people can come and ask questions and get the answers. The more you know, the more you're going to be comfortable using the products. The less you know, you're not going to be interested, like you're going to be confused.
That Fama did say that you guys can join our K-Beauty School. K-Beauty School is on Facebook, and it is an 8-week intensive course where we teach you about all the different aspects of K-Beauty. And the great thing about it is it's like a bite size. We call it a bite size course on K-Beauty, and every week we have a giveaway. So we give you you take a quiz, and the top scorer, we choose a we choose a winner from the top scorer, and we send you some K-Beauty products.
And it's all free.
It's all free.
Ta-da!
So if you are interested in joining in the K-Beauty School, definitely check out the links that are in the description. Whether you're listening or watching, definitely check it out, because I wish even back then I had a community to go to, be like, I'm getting into this. Where do I start? I just have to, it's just like, you'll see a picture of an idol or like an actress, so you're like, I want to learn how to do that, but I don't know where.
Yep, that's perfect. So we have our K-Beauty School 101 page, and then we also have our K-Beauty School group. So just like our page, and then also join our group. It's a private group as well.
Roxy? Because I feel like I've been talking so much, it's just like, I don't want to take it away from my other host.
Jay,
Roxy's shy. Is Roxy shy?
Sometimes, yeah, but Jay's also very good at interviewing, so she tends to take a lead on that.
Roxy, I meant to tell you, I really like your hair.
Oh, thank you. It's fading, but it's good now. So,
Still look good.
Thank you. I guess the last question we have is sort of a fun one. Do you have any idols that like you love their skincare routine? Like, do you have favorites? Idols, actors, actresses, any of that?
You guys don't want to ask me that question.
Oh yeah, she's gonna go into like BTS quickly, so I can see that happening. I think I use skincare routine. I think she has an amazing skin in terms of idols. In terms of actors and actresses, to be honest, it's really hard. Like they all, to be honest, all kind of look really good. So let's just start implementing their secrets. I'm always like, on the lookout into like what are they doing, or what's the next new tip? Because literally in K-Beauty, it's all about what is the next big thing. So I can share one of my favorite tricks. I love to do two sheet masks in one. And what I mean by that is I use eye patches, and then I put the sheet mask on top of it. That's one of the things I like to do.
That's better than me. I go in cycles, to be honest. So my favorite, I agree with her about IU. I think her skin is amazing. And honestly, I don't even know if I don't really know about BTS skincare. I mean, to be honest, I just love them. So I assume that I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm a new army. I'm almost 1 year army. So
nice.
Yes.
Honestly, Yoongi is like my favorite person ever, and I can't even get over how his face does that. Like, how is his skin like that?
His skin is amazing, I have to say. And speaking of Yoongi, I am so okay. So he wasn't my favorite in the beginning, but I am really, really getting to. I like him more and more and more, and I think he is just so talented. And I am so impressed with him. I know this has nothing to do with K-Beauty, but I'm so impressed with him when it now the new Samsung ringtone. Did you see that?
I haven't, no.
Oh, what? I know which one you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
What?
You're a real army.
I know. I didn't listen to it, but it's like everyone was like, "Oh, Yuki did this." I was like, "What did he do? What?"
Stan Twitter scares me now, so I probably missed it, to be honest.
Yeah. They're crazy. So apparently, Samsung just hired him to reimagine Over the Horizon, which is their Over Horizon Samsung that their theme song, basically their theme ringtone, and he reimagined it, and it's just so beautiful, and and I'm just like, this man, he's a genius. But RM is my favorite, then B, and now Yoongi's coming up on third.
Like,
actually, B, I don't know. RM now, I think Yoongi's probably getting to be my second.
It's okay. Sometimes I'm very much guilty of flip-flopping between my favorites. So it's just like J-Hope's, my favorite, but like there's also Jimin, there's Jungkook, and there's Yoongi.
I know.
Oh my god.
I'm just like, I love them all. Okay, don't come for me. I love them all.
OT7.
But it's just like, what the heck? And then what was it? Like J-Hope's skin, for example, like I think it was in the Soup series, he did his skincare where he was prepping, and I'm like, you look so good. I'm just like, what products are you using? And so it's just like, oh wait, that's not in my budget, but whatever he's using works for him, and he looks great.
But did they show what he was using?
They showed one product. I believe it was a L'Occitane one. I don't remember it, but it was like a gradient, like I think it was a serum, I believe, or and then it gradients from orange to purple. But it's just like, I'm pretty sure. Well, the Power BTS managed to sell everything out. Like this.
Absolutely,
yeah.
But I'm just like, it looks good.
You know what is so interesting about them? It's so funny because, they went from like obviously having nothing to, and then, obviously they could only use they couldn't use like very high quality stuff. And you see the way their tastes have changed. And so the stuff that they use is just really high quality now. And it's just so cute. I don't know. I'm just so happy for them. Yeah.
Love that. No, honestly, you're talking to the two other people who are BTS fans, so it's just like, we get you, we understand.
I'm so happy to meet other BTS.
more army.
Yes, definitely. Like, we understand. We feel you in that sense. But going back to KBeautyFest, you have an event coming up real soon. Can you please tell our listeners and those who are watching for the very first time, getting to know you, what's to come with this event and how can they join?
Well, what's to come? Right now, we are prepping for the event, and we will be having a email sign up where people would be able to sign up for all the news about the event. So I believe there are going to be links on your links that you guys will put up where they'll be able to get into our newsletter to find out all the information about the event. And we're going to be collaborating with so many different interesting brands and influencers. So we're just right now, we're in the very beginning of prepping, and it's going to be lots of fun. And so we're going to have about at least 15 different kinds of sessions. We're going to have things like, K-Beauty 101. They're going to learn a lot of, about ingredients and about they're going to learn about different influencers. And Fama, what else are they going to learn about?
You're going to learn about celebrity skincare routine and tips. We'll talk about non-invasive and invasive surgery, because that's also a big thing. But I think a lot of people have this stereotype of plastic surgery, but there are a lot of things that are non-invasive here in Korea that are pretty amazing. So we're going to talk about those. And we'll talk also about, we'll have a professional track for people who are interested in, because we see more and more of these people interested in launching their own Korean beauty brand. So we'll tell you like what would be the steps, what you will have to do. So it's going to be a really fun event, and anybody and everybody is welcome. There is no, you don't need to be an experienced K-beauty addict. You can, if you don't know, you can come and learn. If you already know, there is always room to learn more. Everybody's welcome. And it's a global event, so anybody can be a part of it.
So is this event virtual and in person, or how is this working out? Because I mean, I would love to join when I can.
It's gonna be virtual. It's gonna be virtual. I mean, it was a lot of the events we wanted to do were supposed to be offline, but thank you, COVID. So we reverted to virtual. So for now, we'll just do virtual event. Maybe later on, like when everything opens back up and it's safe, we'll do offline event. But this one is going to be a virtual event. It's going to be in English, and which means anybody can join.
Exactly. And one of the things that we're also going to do is we're going to do K-BeautyFest Awards. And so you're going to be able to vote for your favorite cleanser, your favorite K-beauty brand, your favorite, K-beauty influencer. And you'll get all of that information once you sign up for, once you sign up for to receive emails from us.
Sounds like a great way to start a K-beauty journey.
Exactly.
If you ask me.
That's the goal.
It is.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
And then also remember to join our K-beauty school.
As we previously mentioned, all the links to K-BeautyFest, K-Beauty School will be in the descriptions. And I think we're good to wrap up. Roxy?
Yeah, I would say so. Do you guys have any final thoughts that you want to add, or any additional pushes for anything?
Well, thank you, The Craze, for having us. 100%. It was such a good podcast with the both of you. It was entertaining and really fun. I hope the listeners feel less intimidated by K-beauty and join us on their journey to discover more about K-beauty. And we'll hopefully see them at the K-beauty school, at the K-BeautyFest. Okay?
And I just want to agree with Fama, Roxanne, and Joanie. It was so nice to be part of this at the Craze. You guys were so pleasant. You guys made it so much fun. Everybody, please join them on their next podcast as well, and make sure you follow them on all their socials. Follow us at K-BeautyFest Global on our socials as well. And we look forward to having you as part of our journey. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for joining us. You guys did really well. Okay, so like
Really?
I could tell a little bit of the nervousness was in the beginning, but no, you guys did very well, and thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. And again, go give them a follow, please.
All the links will be in the description, and as such on our social media. I don't know how else to wrap up, Jay. I'm getting tired.
So again, please follow Fama and Mona on their journey with K-BeautyFest. Please visit all the links that are in the description. Again, they are going to be on social media, on our website. The Crazecast in general is available on all platforms, so please give us a follow, and don't forget to leave us a rating and a review. And again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please follow everybody that is here today on this episode. Thank you once again. And if you don't mind, Roxy, I'll end it off. This has been the Crazecast, and we'll see you in our next episode. Thank you.